Hello everybody, and welcome to another GovGrants tutorial video. My name is David Dabb, and today we're going to be covering pre-applications. So if you remember from the last video, last time we went through and we qualified a published funding opportunity that LMG published. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that qualified funding opportunity and we're going to create a pre-application out of it. So let's dive right in. Let's go to Opportunities. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our qualified opportunity list. And then this here is the opportunity that we qualified last time. So let's go ahead and hit the view icon to go into that funding opportunity. Now here, up on the top, we see the Create Pre-Application button. So we're going to click that to create a pre-application. One thing to note though, is this pre-application button will only show up if this pre-application required field is set to yes. If this pre-application required field is set to no, instead of the create pre-application button, you'll instead see the create application button to create the application directly without needing to go through the pre-application process. So just bear that in mind. If you're not seeing this button and you're seeing the create application button instead, that's not a bug, you're okay. You just don't need a pre-application, so you can proceed directly with the application. So let's go ahead and create the pre-application. So we click the button, and then a pop-up window is going to load up here in just a moment. And then here we have our pre-application title. It's going to auto-populate with the name of the funding opportunity. We're going to go ahead and just rename this to Demonstration Pre-Application. And we'll hit Save and Continue, and that's going to go ahead and create the pre-application record for us. There. My internet must be having some hard time, but that's okay. We'll just be a little bit patient in this video, that's all. Alright, so now the pre-application has been created for us. And here, we're going to walk through the pre-application process together. So first, we have our Overview tab. One thing to note is whenever you see this orange dot on the tabs, this orange dot indicates that there's some required fields that have not been completed yet. Once you complete those required fields and save, those orange dots should go away. So here we have our organization information showing up here. That comes from our organization profile. We have the opportunity overview, which pulls some basic information from the published funding opportunity. We have our pre-application overview, which has our title and then our requested budget. We haven't budgeted anything yet, so we see 0. This will update as we do our budget. Further down, we have a couple of narrative fields we have to fill out. First, we have our project abstract. So I'm just going to put in test abstract for now. Hopefully you'll have a much better project abstract than this one. Coming further down, we also have our project goals. One thing to note as well is these boxes, they look really large here at first. You can resize them, drag it around using this corner here. So if it needs to be smaller, you can make it smaller, and that's totally fine. We've got our project goals here. So test goals. Hopefully your project goals are much better than mine. We've got our beneficiaries. And those are the main narrative fields we have to fill out on the pre-application. So coming further down, we have our contacts table here. Now the contacts table is going to automatically populate your primary user into this table. In this case, the primary user for this organization is myself, David Dabb. If you want to associate any additional contacts that your organization may have, you can click this Associate button and associate additional contacts. The next thing too is that you need at least one key contact in order to submit a pre-application. And the automatically populated user is not going to be automatically designated as a key contact because Even though they're the primary user of your organization, they may not be the key contact for the project that you're trying to bid for. So let's go ahead and hit edit. I'm going to make myself the key contact and save. Finally, down here on the bottom, we have the acknowledgement section. You must agree to the certification language here before you're going to be allowed to submit the pre-application. So let's go ahead and check that. And let's save all of our work so far before moving to the budget tab, just to make sure we don't lose anything. All right, so we've saved our overview tab. Notice the orange dot went away, so we're good on the overview tab. We're not missing anything. So now let's go to the budget tab. Here on the budget tab, you can see the focus area that LMG added as part of the announcement that they published, or the funding opportunity that they published. Here, you have a budget period section. This budget period section has a nested table in it. The parent table just shows the budget period, so the budget period start date and the budget period end date. You don't have to pay too much attention to these dates. Typically, I know you guys run from July 1st through June 30th. I'm just doing August 1st to July 31st because it's already July when I'm recording these videos. We can expand the parent table here, and then that's going to bring up our budget categories table. And this is where we're going to enter the budget. So you're going to be spending a lot of your time on your pre-applications and your applications in this section. This is where you're going to budget your activities. So in the last video, when we looked at the funding opportunity, we looked at the various budget categories that we have. So these are the budget categories that showed up in that funding opportunity. In order to add costs or to add budget, what you're going to do is for the budget category you want to add costs to, you'll go ahead and you'll click this Add Line Item Details action. It's this little square with an arrow on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to budget under one line item just to show you what that looks like. Hopefully your budgets will be a lot more thorough than mine. So let's go ahead and click that icon. It's going to open up a pop-up window. And then what you see here is there's a line item that's automatically added for you. So that way all you have to do is edit it, add your budget, and then any matching, and you'll be good to go for that line. If you want to break down that budget category even further into multiple line items, you can click New to add as many lines as you would like. And then when you save everything, it will all summarize together and display in the table as one summarized line item with the details in this pop-up window. Again, to keep things simple, I'm going to go ahead and just do it all as one line. So I'm going to go ahead and budget, let's say, $50,000, and I'm going to go ahead and just do a 10% match in cash, and I'm going to go ahead and do another 10% match in non-cash. These are probably not realistic numbers, and that's okay. Your numbers will be a lot more realistic. Let's go ahead and save our window here. So now we have our budget of $50,000. We're matching a total of $10,000 for a total project cost of $60,000 for this line item. Let's go ahead and close the window. And you see the table refreshes here with the data that we just put in. So you'll need to do that for every budget category that you have costs for. So if you need to purchase equipment, this is where you'll put that. If you have additional indirect costs, this is where you'll put that. This is for a construction type funding opportunity. There's other funding opportunity types as well. So you'll have a construction category, you'll have some land structures, rights of way appraisals category, some other construction related categories, project inspection fees, things like that. Once you're done budgeting everything, what you'll want to do is you'll want to come down here. Let's go ahead and click edit in order to put the page back into edit mode here, because there's one final field here on the budget tab we have to fill out. So now that we've got our budget in place, we need to further justify the project cost. Why is it going to cost $60,000 in this case? So down here in the last section, we have the budget narrative section, and here's where you'll put that justification. So justification. Hopefully your justification's much better than mine. We're going to go ahead and save now. And those are all the required fields you have to fill out as part of the pre-application process. The next few tabs are tabs that you've probably already seen before, but we're going to review them really quick anyway. The next tab is the Files tab. Now here, you can see in the Files tab, we have a supporting document checklist section. Now, if LMG requires certain documentation from you, the subrecipient, to be provided during the pre-application process, they can mandate these documents using this checklist. And then what you'll need to do is for every mandatory document here, you'll need to upload a corresponding document to it, or else the system's not going to let you submit this pre-application. So you can see in this example here, I have just a test pre-application document that's mandatory. When LMG does this, they can also provide you what's called a template. You can then download that template and look at it. In this case, this template is just a simple test document, as you can see here. But they can give you a template. The template could be a PDF, like I just put there. The template could be an Excel, it can be a Word document. Whatever template LMG wants to provide you, that will be helpful to you, so that way you can fill out that required document in the format that LMG is expecting. When you're all done filling that document out, you'll click this upload icon here to go ahead and upload that document. So let's go ahead and attach a test file here. So we'll go ahead and click choose file. You'll need to go into your computer's system here. And I'm just going to grab a test PDF document that I have saved. And we'll save that attachment. And now you see here the subrecipient document link changed to this view link here. So now when LMG is reviewing this pre-application, they'll be able to click this link to download the document that you attached. Now that we have attached something against this mandatory document, we're good to go. We don't need to do anything else. However, if you would like to, if there's additional files that you would like to attach to your pre-application to further help your justification, to further your case, you can attach additional files here by clicking Add Files, selecting a classification for that file, selecting the file from your computer's file system, and providing a description. And there we go. If you have additional notes that you would like to provide in addition to the narratives that you've already provided before on the Overview tab, you can click Add here, and you can add as many lines as you like. You can add as many notes as you like. So here we'll put in a title and a description, and we'll save that. Next, we have the History tab. The History tab contains one section called Snapshot History. Now, a snapshot is a PDF that the system will automatically take and attach to this record, and that PDF will contain all of the information within this record. So when we submit this pre-application, a snapshot should automatically be taken and attached here in the snapshot history. That way you or LMG can download the PDF at any time to compare it against what might change later. Because when you submit to Grantor, when you submit this pre-application to LMG, LMG will have an opportunity to review and accept your pre-application, or they can send it back. And if they decide to send it back, you'll be able to make changes. And when you make changes and submit it again, another snapshot should be taken. So this is a way to keep a PDF history or a PDF track of any and all changes that happened in the pre-application every time it gets sent back and forth between you and LMG. Finally, we have the Collab tab, which you've already seen before. You can use my feed to just post something here pertaining to this particular pre-application record. And then anyone else who looks at this record here will be able to see your feed you're posting, kind of like a Facebook wall or a Facebook timeline if you're familiar with Facebook. And then you have the messages section where you can send emails from the system to anyone else, and then that email chain is then tracked by the system. So you can send an email by clicking send email here and filling out the corresponding window and then clicking send. So similar to Outlook, you can provide your any CCs that you want. You can also have it send a copy of the email to you. So we can put something like grab@yahoo.com, for example, with a test subject and a test body. If you have any attachments you would like to attach, you can attach those as well. And then when everything is done, you can click send. And then that will send the email out from the system. And then if the person responds back to the email, they don't have to respond back in the system. If they respond back from their Outlook by clicking reply all, that reply will also be captured by the system and placed here in this table. So that way you can see all the communication that happened as it pertains to this record. So that's all of the information in the pre-application record. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click Submit to Grantor. And that's going to wrap up our pre-application process from the subrecipient perspective. The next step now, like I said, is LMG is going to receive this pre-application, and then they're going to review it. And if they're okay with it, they'll go ahead and accept it. Once they've accepted it, you'll receive an email notification letting you know that they've accepted your pre-application. You'll be able to come back to this pre-application, and then you'll be able to create an application from it, where all of this information that you've supplied in the pre-application will automatically populate into your official application for that funding opportunity. If LMG has a concern or an issue with this pre-application, they can send the pre-application back to you. You'll be able to make corrections, and then you'll be able to submit it back to LMG. So that's everything regarding pre-application. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. We're happy to help. Thank you so much, and have an incredible day.